How long are you going to wait until you make that change? Are you going to do it now? Are you going to wait 5 more years? You're going to make 10 more years? What's that going to be? Because often, so many of us wait 10 years to start day one. And when I was contemplating what to make this episode, what to talk about today. I am contemplating some stuff that I'm working on for myself, and somebody in the world that I like to listen to and look up to is Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. He's a clinical psychologist, author, etc. And I popped on YouTube as one of those like videos of just short highlight clips from one of his speakings in public, and this one was about change and just changing the way you want to live your life and things like that. And this episode stood out to me, which inspired this episode that we're doing right here. And one of the things he said is, I think he was more so on a topic of somebody like trying to improve their life, self development from like a just other areas, not like specifically fitness and stuff, but the same rules still do apply over. And that is, you can either be where you are now or continue to stay where you are now 10 years from now. But either way, you're going to be in this exact situation either at my age right now, 28, or at 38. You choose. And so something about that just rattled me, and that does apply to a lot of you guys and whatever it is, health, behavior change, identity change, or just really anything that you are trying to improve yourself in your life is, how long are you going to wait? How long are you going to wait until you actually take the steps, the actions to do it? And it's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be tough. It's supposed to be hard. That's why no one ever said changing yourself was going to be easy. Now, there's certain small things, small changes, like if you're somebody who says, I just want to drink more water. That's a very small, minor change that does not take a lot of twisting and turning for you to kind of like develop into that person. Now, there's bigger changes of some of you being like, hey, I'm gonna start buckling down and cracking open a textbook because I want to get the certification. I want to get this promotion at my job. I want to go back to school, or I want to be able to lose 100 pounds, or I want to develop this whole new lifestyle. I want to audit everyone that's around me. I want to completely change the entire trajectory of my life and become that one person that has the type of future and become the type of person that just breaks all that generational curse, trauma, anything like that. You just set off you just make that giant shake into your world that you want things to go in a different direction where you ever thought was possible for you. Like, I'm talking about those type of changes, and everywhere, anything that falls in between that spectrum. And with those type of changes, who you are fundamentally is going to take so much stretching and tension that for you to do that. And it's almost kind of like a muscle, right? It's like a muscle, like you have to work on it, you have to build it, you have to stretch it, and you have to stress it out, and you have to work hard, and you have to give it time for it to adapt and grow. And if you take your foot off the gas, then the muscle is just going to get smaller. It doesn't go away, it's still there. It's just smaller. And that's almost kind of like your future. If you don't, and or that version of you that you're working towards, maybe there's a little bit of you there, but if you don't continuously pay the entrance fee to keep working, to keep pushing and stretching, then it's not going to grow. And so many of us wait so long for us to make a change. And the common theme in my own life is that I have to hit rock bottom in whatever domain or facet that may be for me to open my eyes and actually see what it is that I'm doing. And I feel like I wish it wasn't like that. I wish it wasn't that you have to feel that depth of pain and suffering to realize the patterns that you're doing, the cyclical pattern of you're just repeating the same story over again, whatever story you tell yourself, and just reprogramming it and embedding it deeper into your subconscious, into your mind, until you finally grab that pen and start writing a different story. Because eventually the ink's going to run out and you don't have time to tell your story anymore. So are you going to finally grab it and do something about it? And so whatever change that may be that you are working towards, use whatever tools you can. We are in the age of information. Start being so hyper aware of the things that you do, the things that how you feel afterwards. Is it in support of what you actually want, or do you feel something negative after you do it? Listen to those feelings. Ask yourself that the person that you want to be, that does these things, that have these behaviors, that lives this lifestyle, that has whatever the thing may be, or can accomplish whatever the achievement is, do they do what you're doing now? If they don't, then follow the breadcrumbs of what they are doing and take that first step. Don't take 10 years to make that first step. And if you do fail and stumble along the way, that's okay, as long as you're picking up your feet and you're moving and you're just continuously and frequently moving in that direction. You don't have to be absolute, you don't have to be right on the target exactly, but at least be directional, be intentional, and be somewhat strategic. And you don't have to be at the very beginning. Whatever activation energy you need, whether it be pain, sorrow, whatever that is, use that as your activation energy to just get the momentum going, and along the way you can change as you go. But at some point you have to stop doing the same behaviors that you're doing that's not serving you towards the person that you want to be, and you just have to take ownership with that and do something about it and change, because no one's going to do it for you. And so many people I see just live their life with regret, or they just settle for the future that they have, and so very few people get to choose the future they actually do have, whether it be in their partner, whether it be in their career, their education, the things they have, the people who they are, the skills that they have, their behaviors, just everything from a holistic view of all domains. Is if you're listening to this, I want you to be somebody who actually wants to choose to be more and not just settle. Of course, some things, like, it's good, but I'm talking about the settling of, like, you know that you can do more, and it's like that almost. It's like, for me, my personal hell is untapped potential, knowing that I made it to the end of the road, and now before I cross over to heaven, or whatever the thing may be, is that I see the ghost of all of the future. All the different versions of the futures and the person that I could have been, and that seems like my own personal hell. Is just untapped potential and just settling for mediocrity, and I don't want that. I don't, and I hope you don't want that for yourself too. And if you do, that's cool. I'm not one to judge. I'm the last person on earth to be judging you. But then if that is you, then you should not be on my channel. This is not the place for you. But if you are someone who wants more, don't settle. Take whatever action that may be. Take whatever step that needs to be. It could be a small step, and then there could be another small one. But at some point, don't just use that as a scapegoat, as just like, hey, I'm only taking tiny steps. Start picking up the momentum, because it's going to take you longer and longer, and you got to start grabbing intensity. And when it comes to intensity, you can't teach that, you can't buy that, you can only earn it. You can only earn it from just putting in relentless, gritful action day in, day out. So that's this episode. That's today's episode. So thank you guys for listening. Get you guys the next one. Much love.